Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you're watching us, I just want to thank you again for sharing your time with us. You feel me? Just like Jay-Z said, and once again, I'm going to say that every episode. Just like Jay-Z said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're sharing your time with us. So once again, thank you. This is episode 4 of the James Terranova Experience. We actually got Kalani back, Kalani Jordan, Shop East Wing. Well, the East Wing, right?
You got it.
Right? It's the marketing. It's the
You
marketing.
got
It's the marketing.
it.
So yeah, we got Kalani back. We're definitely going to talk about some East Wing. We're definitely going to talk about some life. I got her back because once again, I just didn't feel like last week was enough. I feel like she has a powerful voice. She has a powerful story. She has a great company, and she's doing a lot with her life. So women, men, everybody needs to hear about her. So once again, Kalani, thank you for blessing us with your
Absolutely.
space, with your time, with your energy. Hey, all right. So, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a beautiful day.
I love it. I
It's
love
a
it. I love
beautiful
it.
day.
I'm a little sweaty right now. You feel me? I'm a little anxious and shit. You feel me?
Oh, you're
But
good.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you too. So, Kalani, let's just start off with what we started off with last week. You
Mhm.
feel me? How did you invest into yourself in the last week? Let's just start there.
I slowed down.
Okay.
I slowed down. I feel like what I'm learning about myself is that I've been doing this thing where if I'm not working, I don't know what to do with myself. So I realized that when I allow myself to do that, I hit this creative burnout.
Mm,
And then I'm sitting there because I have the discipline to work.
yeah.
I know what the end goal is, but
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm having trouble putting strategic plans into place, and things really aren't clicking the way they used to. So, as backward as this may sound, I let myself sit in bed. I binge watched Squid Games, and it was okay. And it
Yes.
was okay.
Yes.
And after I did that for like 2 days, um, when that was over, and I was like, all right, it's time to work again. I had the best ideas I've had all month.
Yeah.
My juices were flowing. I've been making money every day since.
Hmm.
So I needed that, and to me that was investing in myself.
Yeah. I mean, that reset. You feel me?
Mhm.
That reset is always good. I've always been there. Like, I'm never one to be afraid of just doing something outside of work. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like, I will put on SpongeBob for like fucking,
Good choice.
guidance. Like, I mean, I don't, but I
Yes.
would. You feel me? Because I could watch, and you could learn from life. You can get creative ideas from anything. You feel me? You could watch a Will Smith movie, get some creative ideas from something like 7 pounds, right? Nothing,
Mhm.
something that's not even like action packed or anything like that. But I definitely do love the idea of, feeding yourself, giving yourself some time, space, energy to watch Squid Games. I don't even watch like, TV shows like that,
Me
but
neither. It was great.
yo, right? It is great. It is great to go through
Great.
a story, the character arc of
I'm
a
like,
of a TV
this
show.
is what they was talking about on Instagram. I
Yes.
get the memes now.
Yes. So you liked it.
I did. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
But it was nice. I'm like, I normally what I do is when I do watch TV, I don't watch TV often. I'm
Mhm.
on my computer. I'm still doing something. My hands are moving. I
Mhm.
really laid there and watched
That's nice.
TV.
That's nice.
And again, as backward as that sounds, that was me allowing myself to take a break.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
allowing myself to pause
Yeah.
and get myself together, girl. Because I'm putting stuff out there, but it's not my best work.
Yeah.
I'm posting content just because I feel like I gotta post content. I'm like,
Right.
there's no strategy behind this. How you gonna
Right.
make money with no strategy?
Exactly.
So me slowing down and giving that time to Netflix was
Hmm.
me invested in myself.
No, and once again, I love it because people need to understand that whole, I don't sleep. Like, I'm a hustler.
That
Like, I'll
booked and
sleep when I'm
busy.
dead. I used to be that. And then now
Yeah,
it's like, nah, I could be dead tomorrow. Then I just never slept. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
nah.
I used to want that. I used to remember
Yeah.
wanting to be
Yeah.
busy. Being busy was glamorized.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm tired. Sometimes
Exactly.
I hit those times where I'm like, I am so tired
Exactly.
that I get them days where I'm like, I'm not even enjoying this right now because I am so tired.
Mm-hmm.
So that reset is something that I'm like, nah, I gotta do that. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
let myself sit on the couch once in a while. I'm gonna let myself
No, for
chill
real. Yeah,
and
for
reset.
sure. And I wanted to touch on something because something what just went into my head.
Hmm.
What is your usual strategy when you're posting? Like what could be a strategy of yours?
So it depends on what my goals are at the time.
Okay.
So are my goals for that week or that day, do I want to get more people to my subscriber list?
Mm-hmm.
For example, I knew Black Friday was coming up.
Right.
So you'll see more frequently in my captions leading up to actually today.
You posted something today, yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
posted a lot. You're going to see
Yeah, yeah.
every time you get on Instagram, it's going to be my face there.
Yeah,
That's how much
Nah,
I schedule
it is.
content for the next couple
That's
days.
Nice.
You
That's
have no
nice.
idea.
That's
You're going to do it
nice.
again,
That's
Kalani? You
nice.
posted an hour ago.
Nah, listen, every single time you post, it always comes up. You feel me? So I always say,
It's going to come up for the next couple days,
Word.
but it's strategic.
Word.
So because I knew that was coming, I'm like, okay, so my goal right now is how am I going to increase my subscriber list? They don't got to purchase right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not chasing the purchases right now. What I want is I want them on my list. So when they get these text messages and emails every single day, eventually one deal is going to hit them.
You ever saw Syrup, the movie Syrup?
I've never heard of it.
Yo, you need to watch this weekend.
You got to make a list for
Listen,
me. Music, movies, what?
Yo, I'm all there. So my boys, we all watched Syrup. This was like in 2015, right? And we're doing network marketing. We're like, yo, how can we, because we understood that network marketing was all about, let me turn that down. Network marketing was all about getting into the psychology of the human mind, right? That's all marketing is, right? So any type fashion marketing, sports marketing, anything is all about psychology. That's it. So what Syrup does is they had this can or this energy drink, and it was just a regular energy drink, and it was called Fuck, right? It was a black label. It looked horrible. It looked like a great value brand energy drink. No cap. It was just black, and it was called Fuck. And they sold it because people like the idea of like sex, and people like, the fact that it was black, so it was anti-culture. But they it was a storyline. It's a low-key cheesy movie. But the storyline was amazing, and the psychology of marketing is put, like, there's this girl, her name is Six. Beautiful woman, right? Beautiful woman. She looked like Roger Rabbit's wife, like, right? Look, no cap. And Six, she named herself Six only because she knew that she was beautiful, and she knew that there was power in her beauty, and she knew that when people said Six, it sounded like sex.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it gets that deep. It's a great movie. You gotta watch it. You can't find it everywhere. You got nooks and crannies of like Amazon Prime
websites or something.
Facts.
You
1,
might
2,
get a
3
virus
movies.
for, but
Right.
yeah.
Nah, no cap. You gotta watch that, John. You
I'll
gotta watch
check
that.
out.
John.
Syrup. I never heard
It's
of
called
that
Syrup. Great movie. We watched it and
Okay.
studied it like 5 times. So one of the things that came up was so people have to walk by a Red Bull 10 times before they want to buy it. That was like a stat that came up in the movie. So with your email list, you're like, yo, y'all gonna see me text y'all 10, 20, 30 times. You're gonna see me email y'all 10, 20, 30 times to the point that you're like, let me just get a look, right? And once again, the marketing behind Shop Eastwing, that being your IG page, you just heard me in the beginning of the episode say, yeah, she's the owner of Shop Eastwing.
And I hear that all the time too.
All the time.
So now it's kind of like the same. So when I started the business, just a backstory on where Shop Eastwing came from, when I was buying my domain for the website, the Eastwing was sometimes they buy domains and they resell it.
Okay.
They were selling it for $27,000.
The Eastwing.
The Eastwing. It's not used for anything, but people buy domains to resell it.
Like crypto.
I wasn't spending $27,000. I'm still not spending $27,000. So, Shop Eastwing, $14. The Eastwing, $27. I was like, all right, we're going to run with Shop Eastwing. But because I knew that, I made sure that all of my handles were the same. So that you think Shop Eastwing, you know my website, you know where to find me on social media, you know my Facebook. And then that's it. So I'm cool with that.
No, I love it. And it's smart. And honestly, I think subconsciously, I don't think it was like on the forefront of my mind, but me creating the social media handles for the James Terranova experience, everything is going to be the JTEP. Just smooth, right? Because I don't want to hurt people, typing out my whole name and all that. But, the East Wing or Shop East Wing was part of I think it was in the subconscious of yo, listen, you could do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the East Wing just because you want it to. You feel me? You could bend it around, make your own rules. Yeah.
East Wing, that's the most important part of it.
That's it. And I love the logo. Can you actually tell people about the logo?
I can. So when I was starting this business, I didn't know a whole lot. Like we said last episode, I worked in wholesale and things like that, but I didn't know too much.
Yeah.
So I knew starting with the name, actually, a lot of people think the name has to do with being a flight attendant. The name has nothing to do with that.
Right, right.
When I was starting this, I knew that I knew that I love fashion, and I know that I love women supporting women.
Right.
I knew I was real big in that like empowerment sense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build something that was putting those two things together. And so I knew that I wanted this brand to represent women as queens. That was something that I was very sure from the very beginning. And so every day I would just like sit there and be like, okay, so what about queens? So royalty, palace. I would just start throwing anything. I would just whatever words came to my head that had to do with it.
Yeah.
And so eventually, after doing this for I don't even know how long I was doing this, I thought about like the structures, palaces, and how they are separated into wings. So you've got the West Wing, the North Wing, the East Wing. Before I started the business, I used to research other businesses, and a lot of them were starting in California, out of the country and such. There weren't a lot that I had researched that had started on the East Coast.
Okay.
And that's where the East Wing came from. Now, when I was creating the logo for it, I knew I wanted to keep up that high-end royal feel with it, which is where the golds and that came in from. I also knew that the styles that I offered, I wanted there to be like timeless. I always knew I wanted something styles that you can wear for years to come and it not go out of style or anything like that. So that's where the compass and that like
I love the compass. I love the touch of the compass. Yeah, yeah.
Just because the compass is timeless.
Yeah.
So that's where all of that kind of came from. And then on the top of the compass is like a little outline of a crown, bringing back the themes of
royalty.
Women as queens.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad you explained that for people because, there's a whole process behind figuring out the logo. And honestly, that's what matters. You feel me? Like the logo and the presentation and the story that you build for your business is what really matters. And I feel like the story of the East Wing or Shop East Wing. Wait, which one should we call it? Should we call it the East Wing or just the social media?
Which one? Whatever
rather?
comes out natural to you.
You feel me? Like
whatever comes out natural.
I always say it naturally, Shop East Wing, and then I catch myself.
It is okay.
Word, as long as the money come in, right?
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, listen, facts. But I definitely love the idea behind that. There's something else that I think you should watch. I think everybody else should watch too. It's called The Golden Circle by Sinek. It's a TED Talk. And basically what he does is he draws a circle and then a circle inside that circle and then a circle inside that circle to like basically illustrate how you should build a company from I think it's the outside in, not the inside out. And the reason being is if you build a company, let's say with my cousin Josh, right? He has Empowering Cuts. He built the company from a point of prestige and loyalty first. You feel me? Not really like, oh, listen, I'm cutting hair and, I'm just trying to not necessarily I'm cutting hair and I'm cutting hair with a twist. What he did was he said, yo, these are the stories of the people that I'm helping. And this is how I'm helping them. And I feel like, the East Wing does similar things, especially with your customer service, with the way that you interact with your customers, the way you interact on IG. And I feel like, people need to hear about that. So can you just talk about like, your customer service and, basically, once you watch the TED Talk, you're going to understand the Golden Circle. It's one of the most watched TED Talks ever.
I'd love to check that out.
By far. But yeah, can you talk to people about your customer service because it's phenomenal, and I feel like you're welcome. And I feel like people need to learn customer service, especially on the early stages.
I think a lot of that has to do with the way that you view people.
Yeah.
To me, I don't look at my customers. They're customers.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last episode, this is a person who's spending the money that they worked hard for. They spent some time of their life, and they're choosing to spend that money with me. So I think naturally there's an appreciation that I have for that, and it doesn't matter how much money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you trusted me.
Yeah.
With your money.
Yeah.
So there's a very genuine feeling that I have toward them. Definitely super grateful. I forgot the first part of the question. I was getting somewhere, I promise.
So I was all up into your answer. You feel me, to be honest. But basically, what I'm asking is, how are you able to, like, what type of hacks or tips can you give people to, you know, be better at customer service. Because a lot of times people be like, oh, people don't like my stuff, and you know, it's because y'all broke, y'all can't afford the products
Mm-hmm.
that I'm selling and all that, and then they ostracize their whole customer environment, you feel me, and then
Mm-hmm.
nobody want to support them. Then they wonder why they can't sell their art, they can't sell their clothes, they can't sell their vision in general, you feel me? So
My biggest tip is listen to your customer. And by that, that don't always mean verbal.
right.
Look at, if you let's just content. If
Yeah.
you put out 3 pieces of content and two of them got a couple likes here and there, one of them you got some comments on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got some, okay, your customers are telling you right there, this is the kind of content they want to see.
Yeah.
Now it goes with clothing. For me, my customers don't like pink clothes. I had to learn that. It took me a lot of purchasing pink
Yeah.
outfits for me to finally be like, yo, when I get it in this color, they eating it up.
Right, right,
I
right.
tried to be a little experimental. I thought pink springtime, my customers don't want to wear a pink sweatsuit. All right, noted. So listen to your customers.
And what do you do in that case when you realize that, you know, you spent money on inventory that they don't want? You just take it as a loss?
No, I do things. I'll maybe come up with new content for it.
Okay.
Like, you know what, this didn't hit the way I thought it was gonna be. So all right, let's switch it up. Let's switch to marketing. Like, I tried it in this picture. All right, I got heels on, and you know, maybe I gotta try a more chill look.
Okay.
So let me see, like, what. Let me put on my, like, I put on my white Nikes with it. Let me make it a chill outfit. You know, let me see if that hits. You know, maybe they need to see it in video. Let's talk
Right.
about it in video. You know, let me give a close up of the material. Maybe they don't see how soft it is on the inside.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that
Yeah.
until it hits. Sometimes I'll even retake some photos. Like if I had like a item that I had to mark down on sale because it wasn't hitting, come up with a new concept to repurpose the content or
Yeah.
switch it up.
Yeah.
Do it, put the price back to original price, and they're selling like that.
That's nice.
So
That's
I put the price back
nice.
up to what it was. New
Yeah.
content is new to people. I've had people say like, "How long have you had this? I've never seen this before." Like, honey, that's been there since last fall. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's new to you, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, that's lovely.
Mhm.
That's fire. And I feel like the thing to take from what you just said was, number one, don't be emotionally, you know,
Yes,
attached
that's
to
big.
other people's perception of, you know, your art.
Mhm.
Because, you know, all of us being entrepreneurs in this room, like, you know, we're artists. Like any entrepreneur is an artist because you're putting your heart into a design or something that you want to give out to the world. And I feel like some people, a lot of people, they get too attached to the art. You know, even me, if I'm posting a video like, you know, back last year, 2 years, when I was really posting a lot of videos, I would be like, all right, listen, I really don't care about the editing too much. I care about the message. And if people are going to love the message, then they're going to love the message. Whereas with you, it's like, yo, I bought a nice piece of clothing. If they don't understand that, hey, listen, this is a nice piece of clothing, let me switch it up. Let me not try to say, oh, like, you know, they got no taste or whatever. You
Right.
feel
It's
me?
just it really is just listening to them, and it's
Yeah.
not personal.
It's not.
It's
It's
not
never
personal. It really
personal.
could just be the way you putting it out there.
Exactly.
Some people
Exactly.
don't take it. They're so emotionally involved in like certain things that they're not looking at. They're not taking a step back.
Or
And
they don't
then
want the work. They don't want to
yeah,
do the work. That's it. Because, yo, everything from last interview and so far today, everything you've been saying, everything that comes out of you is, I'm willing to work. And
mhm,
that's why I feel like, once again, another reason why I feel like women, men, anybody needs to hear, because you could tell in your energy and the way you look when you're talking that, yo, you're serious. Nah,
mhm.
facts. And I feel like that authenticity comes out very, very clear,
Oh,
very,
thank
very,
you.
like, you know, like powerful. No cap.
I appreciate
No. Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And that's it. Listen to the customers.
Facts.
They're gonna tell you everything you need to know.
Mhm.
And what is it that quote? Success leaves clues.
Success
So
leaves
go.
clues.
What I do is I go
Facts.
back. What how I spent my morning actually is I go back and I go through my analytics. People sleep on analytics. There's so much information in that data.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you can use to make strategic decisions, which goes back to when I said when I allowed myself to reset.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I feel that burnout, I'm staring at these numbers and they're not clicking in my head.
Right.
I can't figure out what to do. It's like, okay, so I see these. What am I going to do with that information?
Yeah.
So, and that also goes when I allow myself to reset, I can look at the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I could see, okay, well, October 18th of 2020, I made $1,000 in that day. What did I do on October 18th that I made $1,000? How many times did I post on Instagram? Did I send an email? Did I send a text message out?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do? So it's like even going back in that, listening to your customers and
Do you write
documenting what
these
works.
things down?
I actually made a little Word document,
Okay.
and it says the date. I put how many visitors I had to my website. What was my conversion rates that day? What did I do? Did I post on Instagram? How many times did I post on Instagram? Was I running any ads? What are the analytics from my ads? So I
High
back
five. High five.
I'm like, because I need to know what
what?
works. For
Yeah.
example, I tried something last night I hadn't tried before. So today I have a pre-Black Friday. I never tried posting at midnight. I never tried it. I usually stop posting at 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 o'clock the latest.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, you know what? If the sale starts at midnight, what's going to happen if I post at 12 o'clock?
Yeah.
I go to sleep at like 9 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm not even going to be up to see it, but let me see what happens.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 7 o'clock today to a couple $100 off of a post that I put at midnight.
That's nice.
I now noted this week I'm going to post every day at midnight. So you're going to see my new sale every day at midnight. I wouldn't have known that if I didn't look back at my numbers.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's almost like I remember when I was working at Cozy. This is like 2012. It's like a Panera Bread in Center City,
remember.
Philly. Oh, you know Cozy
know
Word. So I was working there, and they had numbers, and T-Mobile does it as well. Like, you know, businesses have numbers from the year before, so that way they could understand, all right, this is my potential on this day last year. Well, this is my potential this year based off the stats from this day last year. You feel me? So I see you're doing that manually. You feel me? Which is a lot of work, but once again, the work ethic. These are things that not even I am thinking about. Probably my cousin is not even thinking about. You get me? That you know people need to hear about, because you just helped me out right then and there. No cap. Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Of course.
Who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to? I feel like I have so many people that I've taken things from. That, like, even when I was first doing this, like just looking at people's stories, like the owner of House of CB.
The
Her
what?
name's Kana Walker.
The
She
House
owns
of what?
House of CB. It's
Okay.
it's another women's online
Boutique?
store, and she started it like 17 years old. She was selling stuff on eBay, and like her story. So I don't know that I have like a person,
Yeah.
but I have something that's so many pieces that I have learned, or kind of like things that have touched me and
Okay.
hit differently for me in especially different areas of my like journey, different parts of my journey. So when I first started, she was somebody who I was like, anything, I'm like, I was on podcasts. I don't even know if she did one, but I'm going to type Kana Walker and I'm going to see what comes up.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a mix of people who I have gotten information from that I appreciate.
And you're talking about within the fashion world, the fashion
Not just
business.
limited to fashion.
Okay.
Not just limited to fashion. She is one, but just different people. There's another, she's from Philly. Her name is Danielle Holmes. She teaches how to run ads on Facebook.
Okay.
She started when she was 25, multimillionaire now. It's been a couple of years. I think she's early 30s.
Okay.
That's nothing to do with boutiques.
Yeah.
But I love her story.
Yeah.
I've taken her courses and things like that. So again, it's not necessarily limited to that, but just stories.
So can you repeat their names one more time?
Kana Walker.
And what does she do?
She owns House of CB. And Danielle Holmes, she runs Facebook ads and teaches how to do it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I definitely need to follow Danielle Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Because I need to put the James Terranova experience through the Facebook ads and understand that. You feel me? No cap.
Absolutely. It's a great skill.
I got a couple fast questions for you. Okay. So one thing you love and one thing you hate.
One thing I love, one thing I hate. I don't like liars.
Okay.
Can I say that?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like it because
yeah.
I feel like when you lie to me, you look at me like I'm
A sucker.
ignorant, like
Right.
I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like that because
Right.
I'm very understanding.
Right.
So I don't like that. One thing that I love. I love so many things. I love so much.
What's one thing up on the top? You're right. Maybe it can't be number one because it's too many things to put number one.
So many things.
Yeah.
Something that I love. I love. This should not be this hard to put. I'm thinking big. I'm thinking small.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah, yeah.
I love pizza, but
It
I
could
also
be
love
anything.
this. Like,
Yeah.
I love good energy. Can I say that?
That's a great
There
answer.
is something that there's such an appreciation for those people who walk in the room and you feel them. I love that energy. So good energy.
I love it.
Good energy and pizza.
Good energy and pizza.
Yes.
And the thing you hate is liars.
I don't like liars.
All right, what's one more
Or
thing you
parking
hate?
tickets,
Because you
'cause
get all right,
Philadelphia's killing
liars
me.
and
They're
parking
killing
tickets.
me.
That's funny. She had a parking ticket the last time she came
I don't
here.
even live here. Take all my money.
Facts, facts, and it really is $35 a piece.
It was so bad when I put.
Did you pay it?
I haven't paid it yet. I forgot. I left it in my car.
She-
So it's,
you're
it
gonna
was
pay
so
it. Wait,
funny.
you're gonna pay it when it's $120.
I'm pretty
Yo,
good.
that's usually what happens.
I remember somehow in my head, like I'll be in the middle of the night, and I'm like,
Yeah.
when that parking ticket? Let me get up. But it's so funny because when I posted a picture of my parking ticket,
Yeah.
and people were messaging me like, again,
Oh, wow.
again, and I'm just like, leave me alone.
Right. That happens to
Whatever.
a lot of people that don't live in Philly that come downtown. Like they just don't understand that PPA, Philadelphia Parking Authority. Like there's like 1,000 of them down
I
here.
swear they
Yeah.
I'm a target. They
Yeah.
they waiting
Nah,
for
facts.
my car. They're like $9
Facts.
Toyota.
They smell it. All right, fall or spring?
Spring.
Spring.
I like spring.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Mhm.
I'm more of a fall guy. Beyonce or Cardi B?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Cardi.
Ooh,
I'ma go
I thought
with
that was
Cardi.
good, right? I thought that was a
I
good
like
one.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go with my girl
All
Cardi.
right,
New
all right.
York.
Yo,
Mhm.
that's why I asked, because I remember when Bodak Yellow came out, yo, that was your John. No
Listen,
cap. Yeah.
I still be running it back.
Curly hair or straight hair?
I don't know because I changed my mind. When
Yeah.
it's curly, I'm like, no, I want the straight hair. And then when
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
straight, I'm like, I can't.
I'm like that with curly hair and braids. You know, when
Can't
it's
do
curly,
that.
I'm like, yo, I can't even like put my head back. Like, you feel me? And then it's gonna
Yep.
smush the curls. Like, and then when it's braided, I'm like, yo, this like, it's just one style. Like, you feel
Mhm.
me?
I don't know. I don't got an answer for that one.
Hoops or studs?
Depends on the outfit.
Okay.
That
You
depends
know,
on the look.
I should have known better. I should have known better.
That's one of
I
those
shoulda
things. Like
known
when you
better.
asked me for tips last time, I'm like, there's
Yeah,
levels
yeah,
to
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
It
All right, all
depends.
right. So give me an answer for when hoop earrings are best for what outfit or what type of vibe, and studs
Okay.
are best for what type of vibe.
We're going to talk about right now. I have hoops on, and I
Ooh.
put the hoops on because I knew I was going to do my hair back because I didn't feel like actually doing my hair today.
Okay.
So I knew my hair was going to be back, and I felt like if I did the studs, the hoops make it pop a little bit more, especially because I'm wearing just a solid color outfit.
Yeah.
So I went with the hoops just to make it a little bit more.
And silver hoops. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my little bracelets.
Yep. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Studs.
Oh, studs I would do if I'm wearing maybe like a bulkier bracelet or if I'm wearing a necklace. I
Okay.
typically do studs so that the focus is on the necklace.
Okay.
So I base it off of that. It depends on the outfit, or if my outfit maybe there's a lot of print or something on it, I'll go with it depends on where I want the attention. What is
Okay.
the piece
Gotcha.
that I want the focus on?
So yeah, why Eagles and Giants? Well, why Eagles over Giants?
Okay, so my dad wasn't like my household wasn't really into sports when I was growing up.
Yeah.
My mom got remarried.
Yeah.
To a diehard Eagles fan.
Okay.
So this was the first time I'm even really introduced to sports.
Yeah.
I'm like, and so it kind of just rubbed off on me. When I
Okay.
was in New York, I was living in the Poconos at this time.
Okay.
So it kind of just rubbed off on me. It was never like I was around Giants fans.
Right.
But I was around Eagles fans.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's it. And it's just I'm stuck with that ever since.
I love it. That's a
Mhm.
great answer. That's a great answer. And also per Joshua, right? We wanted to kind of dig deeper into like that social media ad. So if you give anybody some type of tips on what is it that you're doing or how to make it useful or how to go about Facebook ads, whatever tips you have.
Okay, so ads is a whole nother monster. It takes a lot of time, but when you learn it, it is amazing. It is a skill. I genuinely believe it's like learning how to do is a skill that can change your life. So if you're not familiar with ads at all, or just not familiar with Facebook Business Manager, there's a thing called Facebook Pixel, and you install it on your website. The Pixel tracks data. It tracks what customers do. It tracks how many times they add it to cart. It tracks how many purchases you got, how many people viewed your content. It tracks all of that. So the Pixel is so powerful, and then you use that data to run ads with certain objectives. So you can run ads. Let's say I want to run ads to women between the ages of 25 to 35 who live in New York City,
Right.
who are interested in Cardi B and Beyonce,
Right.
and like things like
Yeah,
that. I often run ads to people who look like my customers, so they're called lookalike audiences.
Okay.
So there's so many levels to it.
How do you know? Like, how do Yeah.
Facebook
How
knows
does Facebook know, or how do you know what your customers look
I
like?
don't know, but it is magical.
Oh,
When I know, so for me, lookalike audiences, that's actually a specific type of audience. Like I said, Facebook, there's so much to it. So for anybody who's interested in learning Facebook, I say start with the basics, learn what the language means, so that when you're watching a video and they're like, okay, well, you want to make sure your cost per click is, and you're like, what is a cost per click? What do you make sure it's not foreign to you?
Yeah.
So I say start with the basics, learn the language, because you're going to be able to pick up on the other stuff much quicker, and take your time with it. Take your time with it. It's important to know who you're selling to,
Right.
to be able to run these ads. That's something that I didn't know. When I first started, I didn't really know my customer.
Yeah.
So I'm making stuff up with what I think my customer might like, but I didn't really know it.
And
You have to.
You think that that's like a main attribute of it, or like something that they're going to get a lot out of it? Because a lot of people, we don't know our customers. Like, we know who we want our target audience to be, but we don't know.
But that goes back to listening to your customer and paying attention.
Okay.
That goes back to that.
Yeah.
And looking at data, or even when you have like a set of customers, if you know what their Instagrams are, look at their Instagram. What do they do? What do they do on the weekends?
Yeah.
What are they
Because
wearing?
they're DMing you. That's how
they
you know?
DMing, or people, sometimes I'll match a name. Like I'll get a new follower and then an order comes in, and I kind of put it that way.
That's nice.
Look at your customer, study them. Look at their buying habits. Especially like your top customers. I was looking at mine today, and there's about 5 women who each in the last maybe 2021 or at the latest September 2020 who have spent almost $2,000 with me each. One person.
That's nice.
One person.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm like, okay, so let me look back at what they buy. What are they buying? So a couple thousand of my revenue is coming from 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Now let me look at them, because there's so much valuable information in there. What do they buy? What are they not buying?
Yeah.
Because clearly these people are my customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judging by their behavior, so I use what I know from them. How old are they? Are they married? Do they have kids? I use that information, and then I take that for my ads so that I know who I'm targeting.
So basically, you have to do your own individual research on some CSI.
You got to pay attention.
On some CSI. And then you got to pay attention, take that information from you paying attention and doing your own research to Facebook Ads Manager, and then it turns into a super monster.
Yeah, it's really just about learning. It's a lot of numbers. It is so much numbers. It's so much testing.
Yeah.
Facebook's going to take your money whether you making money or not.
Yeah. What's a good amount of money to start with? Like something like where people will actually see a jump in their business, you think?
So it depends.
Okay.
It depends. I start as little as $5 a day.
Okay.
Because what I do is I let it run for $5 a day. So that's what I did. I have an ad that's running. I didn't look at it today. I looked at it yesterday. But I did it at $5 a day, and I let it run. I think I had 2 running, and I ended up spending $89, but I made $700.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's one of those things that
You posted about that, right?
I did, because I didn't look at my numbers until yesterday. I was like, check me out. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention to it because I'm so used to the testing and not like. So it depends on what your budget is. A lot of people think like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend $50 on this, because the more money you spend, the more people it shows to. However, you still haven't figured out who your audience is. You don't even know if they liking the content that you spending money to put out.
Right. It's like having a shotgun and shooting it, and all these pellets blow out.
When I started running ads, start early pandemic, like at the start.
I remember I was telling you to run ads, not during the pandemic, but
I know you've told me a couple times. Yeah, I remember that. I started actually studying it, and my ads weren't converting, and I'm like, why? Look at them now. I'm like, the content sucked. I'm like, what did I think I was doing? This little polka dot, like borders and stuff I was doing.
Oh, you have polka dot borders?
I don't know what I thought I was doing something. I thought I was doing, and I'm like, why am I making any money? And it's like, so it all comes full circle. There's ads, like I said, it's a whole beast, but your foundation has to be solid, because it's like, okay, you get your people to your website, but your website still got to do the selling.
Right.
Is your website even converting?
Right.
If they're not buying, is there a pop-up? Are they going to be able to sign up so that they can see your stuff later? Because going back to what you said, they got to see on average your business 7 times before they make their purchase. So what am I going to do to get my business in front of you 7 times?
Facts.
So everything that, like we talked about, it all goes full circle. For me to get it to a bit about my strategy is I run my ads, and if they buy straight, great. but I know that that's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go on my website, they're going to see a little pop-up for 15% off and hope that incentivizes them. They put their email address and their phone number, and now I got their contact information. So if they don't buy, I got their contact information. So they're still going to get my text marketing.
And they still get that percentage off, right?
They're still going to get the code.
Is it like a wheel?
I don't have the wheel.
Okay.
I just have the phone
you know what I'm
number.
talking about?
I do know which the
They be
spin
getting
wheel.
me with the wheel. The wheel be
I've done
like
it a couple
free,
times.
and then 10%, and then I do it.
Yep.
I'm 10%.
No, mine is just regular. And then what they also don't know is that, so when they put their email address in, now they trigger what's called a welcome series.
Okay.
I'm really big on automation and having systems in place so that I don't have to do the work. So when they put their email address in, they trigger a welcome series. So they're going to get their welcome email, which is just like, hey, welcome to VIP or whatever the email says. I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
Then I have it set. So 7 days later, they're going to get another email from me automatically.
Yeah.
Then another 3 days later, and every email is set with intention.
Right.
So maybe the first one is just a welcome. The second one, I'm like, you know what? They don't know my business yet. They don't know if it's legit. So let me give some social proof. Let me put some reviews on there. Let me put some, like, okay, so they didn't purchase on that one. So then the one they get the week later is like, hey, like, I'm Kalani. This is a little bit more about us. If you're not familiar, if you are unsure what size to buy, make sure you always read the product descriptions. I always put XYZ on there. I'm going to give you more information about my business. And then 3 days later, you're going to get some out. And it's going to keep going for, I think I have it set for like 30 days. You're going to get some every couple of days for like 30 days. I'm going to keep putting my brand in front of you. So that's where it comes in. I run my ads, but it comes full circle because I get you into like another funnel.
Fiverr just did that to me 2 days ago.
Did they?
Yeah, so I signed up for Fiverr for the for the first time last week, right? And I guess they gave me this 20% off promotion that I just wasn't paying attention to. But the other day I used it for my podcast, for like the marketing material for it. And the reason why I used it the other day and didn't just wait for me to do the editing or whatever, figure all the real stuff out, right, the hard work out, was because it was the last day for 20% off. And I'm like, let me use it.
Yep, and they reminded you it was the last day.
They reminded me via email. I check my email like it's my social media, but I don't open emails.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those guys, like 11,000 unopened emails.
A lot of people are like that. And that's why text marketing is.
Yeah.
I love text marketing because people don't check. Not everybody checks their emails. I do, but everybody checks their phone.
I check them, but I won't open it. If it most of my emails are garbage.
Everyone looks at their phone.
Facts. So you got one of those community numbers.
You
know what I'm talking about?
I know it's not community. I use a different platform, but yeah, the concept is the same.
Okay. You want to give people the number?
I don't actually know it. I don't know it by memory.
All right.
Just know if they
We're gonna have to
text the number.
insert it. We're gonna have to insert it after the
Yeah,
episode.
I really don't remember. If they go on the website, it pops up.
Okay. So yeah, I got one more question. What is your favorite personal development book? I know you read a lot of books, and I feel like, once again, people need to hear this.
I'm gonna say, and I haven't read this one in a couple years, but I have to run this one back too. I'm gonna say The Compound Effect.
The Compound Effect with Darren Hardy.
Yes.
Yes, I love that book.
I'm gonna say that one.
Yes.
Because I think that was the first time that I was kind of like, wait, I can make little changes, and not everything has to be so drastic. I can do little, like one thing at a time, and I think that's kind of, sometimes I remind myself of that when I feel like I'm trying to do too much, and one thing at a time, because 1% I'm still making that progress.
Yes.
And I think that's also made this whole journey for me even easier, because I know that I'm still going in the right direction, even if it's not as fast. Even if it don't feel like it's moving so fast or whatever the case is, however I'm feeling at that moment, I know that I'm still moving in the right direction.
The Compound Effect shows you how to put a governor on your own body to make sure that you're not, wearing yourself thin too early. Yeah.
I love it. So I'm gonna say that one because I think that was my first introduction to that.
Yeah. The first time I read that book, it was 2015, and when I read it, I didn't fully understand it because almost 20. I was 22. I was 22 at the time, and at 22, you got all the energy in the world. You try to take over the world, and it's just like, nah. I did not internalize the Compound Effect, but when I did use it, was in February. I started working out again, and when I started working out again, I'm like, typically what I do is I'll go hard in the gym for like 2 months, not like 2 weeks. I'll go hard in the gym for 2 months, and then I'll transform my body. All of a sudden, I get bored with the workout routine, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna take a week off. I'm gonna take a couple days off. A couple days turn into a week, and then all of a sudden, I lose the pump, and then I'm like, I'm skinny again, right?
I get that.
You
Listen,
feel
because
me?
I'd be up and down. I'd be
Yes.
up and down myself, but I always remember, I still remember that concept there too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, one thing at a time. I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm not going to change. All right, well, I'm going to get fit. So tomorrow I'm only eating lettuce and I'm going to the gym. It's like, no, you know what? This week, we're not going to, just don't eat any, cut the dessert out. You don't have to have cookies every day.
That's it. The
Next week, we'll figure
Go
out
ahead.
next week.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
But that's
Yeah.
the concept. It's like, all right, no, this week we just not eating it. When you finish your dinner, you finish your dinner.
The compound effect
it.
is all about not stopping. That's it.
Mhm.
Just don't stop. Like whatever momentum, as long as you keep momentum, whatever momentum is, that's why people say sometimes, it's good to run. Run when you need to run. Walk when you need to walk. Crawl when you need to crawl.
Yeah.
Roll when you need to roll, and sleep when you need to sleep. That's what the compound effect is all about. To me, that's how I internalized it. You feel me?
And then those little differences, like little things
Mm-hmm.
that are positive have such a big effect long term.
Yes.
So it's okay
Yes.
to make little changes.
Yes.
Don't those little changes lead to something big. So just not to I guess what is the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say diminish, but don't sleep on little changes.
Yes.
That's it. Don't sleep on little changes.
Yes. Yes. Don't sleep on the little changes because
Mhm.
it's those little changes that actually make the big impacts on your life, because those little changes are what keep you grounded, to be honest. Like waking up at a certain time in the morning, or going to sleep at 9, or instead of burning myself out, let me watch Netflix for 2 days.
And there's a discipline that comes with this too.
Yeah.
There's a discipline that comes with these little changes, but because they're so little, you might not. I don't got to do that. I don't got to make my bed today. I don't got to do this today.
Yep.
Because they're so little. But when you can get yourself to be disciplined for these small things,
Mm-hmm.
you are training your mind to be disciplined for these big things.
Right.
The things that might be real hard to do sometimes.
Right.
There's a discipline. It's like you're training. It might sound so small, but you're training yourself and really setting yourself up for success, in my opinion.
I got one more question,
What's up?
and we're trying to fit in time here. You feel me? We're trying to fit in time, but the very last question I have for you is, when did you figure out? Like, when did you get this peace? Like when did you get this that energy that you're sharing right now? That yo, I got this. Like, I feel like the energy you're giving off is like, yo, I'm confident in who I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going. Can't nobody stop me. I got this. So can you please explain, when did you get that energy?
I don't know that I can put like a day
Right.
or a time. I don't know that I can put that as one of those things that just happened. I think there's a lot of things that built up to this. And it goes back to like what we touched up on last week. It's like I never stopped working on myself. And if I felt that there was an area that maybe I could do better, that's the area I'm going to focus on.
Yeah.
And I kept doing that. And I also strengthened my trust in like God.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is something. And I'm like, I worked on my faith. And so I feel like when you have faith, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing to worry about.
True.
So I feel like I just kind of, I strengthened that, and I put so much focus on myself that I genuinely do feel unstoppable. And I was so intentional about retraining my subconscious mind and learning to catch myself when I say things that I shouldn't have said, or what even like catching myself, like a thought, like if ever I said to myself, like I doubted myself, I had to stop myself and be like, girl, what you talking about? People don't realize the way they talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that people say to themselves, they would never let another person say to them.
Facts.
They would never let another person.
Facts.
So when I checked myself and I was like, no, the only way I won't succeed in this is if I don't do it.
Right.
So I pretty much put myself in places where it's like, no, this is the only option. I'm going to. Even if it's not tomorrow, if it's not the day after, it might not even be next year. I don't know, but this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm chilling because I have so much faith.
Confidence.
That so much the confidence comes with comes with the faith.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
So what I got to worry about? God got me.
Yeah.
What's meant to be will be.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm chilling. I'm just enjoying the ride until then. When you have faith like that, there ain't no way to not be confident.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is the very last thing. Nah,
You
it really is. I keep on saying that, right? You got to give your gold roses to somebody else.
You know, on the way over here, I'm like, who am I going to give it to today?
Yes.
I know we said, like, no,
Yes.
nothing. Okay, let me think. I had a whole week. I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give it to. Let's give it. Can I give it to my dad? Can I give it to my dad?
You can give it to anybody.
I'm gonna give it to my daddy. Because you know when you start.
Is his name Mr. Jordan?
No, that's actually my middle name.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
oh, it's Carrion.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
forgot.
okay.
Yeah,
All my
sorry.
life, I've always been by
right?
Kalani Jordan.
Word.
I'm gonna give it to my dad. So, my dad is very go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and things like that. Although he is a business owner and stuff himself now. You know when you have a big idea and you share it with a like a person who don't, I'm not gonna say small-minded, but they don't look at life the way you do.
Yeah.
And naturally they're like, nah, like you know what you're doing. Like you don't want to do all that. Like people don't really make money doing that. Like you know that my dad has always, even with his belief in good grades and things like that. When I said I'm gonna start something, he had the support from the jump.
That's love.
It was never like, what are you really gonna do? He would keep me grounded. He'd be like, okay, well just watch out for this. But it was never on a you can't do it.
Yeah.
He was like, you day by day, take it step at a time. And that is one thing, because when I first started and I wasn't as strong in the mindset and the faith as I am now, things would make me think twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my mom, I love her, but when I started, she's like, you don't know what you want to do with your life. You don't know. I didn't tell her I was starting this because I know how she is until I already had the business license. I was launching in 2 months. I only told her because I was opening a business bank account and she works at the bank. I had a couple questions.
Yeah.
So when you're first starting, it's so easy to get deterred because people project their fear and their limitations on you. And when you're not completely set in that, it can get a little rocky. It's going to get a little tough.
Yeah.
So having my dad who knew what I was doing before it was even a thing, and having him be like, okay, yeah, no, you could do it. You know a lot about clothes.
Yeah.
You know, that was a blessing to have that, because I know a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to my daddy.
And what's his name?
James.
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 That's funny.
Yep, that's my daddy.
That's funny.
I'm gonna give it to
Word.
my dad.
So James Carrion?
Yes.
Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. James Carrion, thank you for being a gold rose in Kalani's life. You know, and honestly, it's really cool because as you're talking, I'm like, yo, like, you know, a lot of times people are flowers. We're all flowers. Mm-hmm. And when you first started, you wanted to be watered. So you're telling everybody, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. Water me. Yeah. I need that right now. Like, you know, and then sometimes you have people that'll just step on the flower. Sometimes you have people that'll water the flower.
Yeah.
And it's cool that your dad is constantly somebody that waters the flower.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
So I love that. Once again, Mr. James Carrion, you
love
feel
you,
me?
Daddy.
Thank you. Word. That's fire. So yeah, with that, I'm just going to the end of the episode. Once again, y'all can follow Kalani at Kalani Jordan. That's her personal IG. I don't know if she really wants y'all following that one.
That is fine.
You
Come
feel
on
me?
over. I make friends. Hey, y'all.
Or Shop East Wing. That's the IG handle. Is that Facebook as well?
Yeah, it's everything.
That's what is everything?
Website, Facebook, Instagram.
Twitter? You don't got Twitter, right?
I do, but you know I be tweeting.
Right. Yeah, I never saw you on Twitter. Yeah.
I have one technically.
Right. Not me. Yeah, a lot of people.
I mean, if y'all want to follow
funny?
me.
What's your Twitter, just in case?
It's Shop East Wing.
Oh, word. All right, smooth. Yo, yeah, you gotta put Yo, Twitter is love. Like, so I had Twitter in 2011, right? It took me a whole year before I was like, all right, let me figure it out. Like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things.
I have a personal one too, and it go on like you'll see like every like 8 months it'll be like one thing, and then I disappear again. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get
every 8 months you do one tweet.
Something, or maybe I'm on a roll for like 2 days and I got like 6, and then that's it for like another 6 months.
Word. Yeah. So once again, Kalani, I just really want to say thank you. You feel me? I really appreciate you. You're gonna be here again. You feel me? Like, and then hopefully when you're here again, the episodes are like not live, but like shot on Monday, brought out on Thursday.
Oh, it's gonna be quick.
Me?
It's the beginning of the process.
We definitely gonna get there. We definitely gonna get there. But once again, thank you. I really wanted you to like be like, you know, in the first 2-3 episodes because I feel like women For real, women really need to hear you. And I feel like men could learn a lot from you, but I want to use this platform to really show powerful women and broadcast that out because I just feel like we need more of that. For real.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
So yeah, let me just leave y'all with my affirmation. I am healthy, wealthy, harmonious, and happy. I am loving, loved, powerful, and whole. I am that which I call God. Somebody DM'd me yesterday. I forgot her name. I don't know her. She just follow her on IG. We follow each other. That's it. I don't even know how we started following each other. But I posted my morning affirmation. She DM'd me. She didn't have to. She DM'd me and she took a screenshot. I think her name is Natasha. She took a screenshot. She sent it to me. Or no, she took a screenshot. She said, yo, this is going to be my background. She said every morning when I post my affirmation, she says it to herself. And she really needed to say it at yesterday for some reason. Something was going on. I didn't want to get too deep, but something was going on. And she said, listen, it grounded me. And that's the exact reason why I put my affirmation up. And you never know who's consuming your content. I never talked to her before.
Inspiring.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's always keep putting that energy out there. Sometimes I get messages from people I never know is watching me. And I'm like, you did that because of me, girl?
Yes.
I don't even remember saying that, but I appreciate that.
Yo,
you never know.
I was in Jersey and this guy, I never met him before. He had to be like 20. He was following me. I wasn't even following him back. And I'd never go to Cherry Hill. I went there for liquor. Dude, he sees me inside this like liquor store and he's like, I follow you. There's like 8 people in front of me and I got shades on. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like, I'm chilling, like just trying to get some liquor, right? Trying to get some, I think it was like Clase Azul that day. So I'm like trying to get some liquor and he's like, I'm like, me? He's like, yeah, you, like, I follow you on IG. You a life coach, right? I'm like, I turned red, like red, started sweating. But, you know, once again, you just never know who's watching you. So, once again, please, I am healthy, wealthy, harmonious, and happy. I am loving, loved, powerful, and whole. I am that which I call God. Thank you for watching another episode of the James Terranova Experience. Kalani, thank you again. You feel me? Josh, thank you. I gotta say thank you to every episode. Well, at the end of every episode to my cousin because I have no idea what I'm doing with these cameras. He knows everything. So once again, thank you, bro. Y'all have a good weekend or a good week, whatever. I'll talk to y'all next week.
I was shining on the city lights. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I laid awake.